Green cell outmost layer, green plant leaves, green stem. Helps in fortification of plant, preventing from desertification. Epidermis cell produce a sticky substance called cutic layer cutin. Epidermal. Epidermis. Then Genzophyte. Genzophyte. Xeric condition plant hot and dry region to save water. Thick cutin epidermal. Leaf spine. So xanthophyte plants have thick cutin slash epidermis, thick cutin layer to protect them from the dry and arid condition. And prime example is cactus. Then parenchyma, living tissue also help in storage. Basic fundamental tissue, thin layer of wall. So parenchyma is a living tissue also help in storage. Basic function of fundamental tissue, thin cell wall have intercellular space. Parenchyma cell filled with chlorophyll filled becomes chloroplast filled with air become violent. Uh, then with water they become endoplast. Waste से endoplast बनते हैं. So parenchyma. This shit is living. This tissue is living. It has cell wall, storage, basic function of life. Parenchyma, when filled with chlorophyll, it become chloroplast Blast. Parenchyma filled with chlorophyll become chloroplast, but when parenchyma is filled with air, it become aerochyma, like your lotus sitting on. This is a pond, and this is a lotus, and like it is sitting on it. It is able to sit on it because it is aerogyma. Then waste the idoblast. So parenchyma with filled with chlorophyll, it becomes chloroplast. Parenchyma filled with air become aerochyma. Then parenchyma filled with your parenchyma filled with your uh, waste. It become idoblast. Next is tissue group of cell are identified different types of tissue. Plant tissue found on plant, mostly tissue that to save energy humans will protect synthesis.
موبایل لا میخواد رو توی بدي كده باكل كده ما تتميها يا ما تخرب وما تقول لك يميل
चल भी
ها
तो
आऊं है वो وصلني بيبي وبني بيبي شابه لا ما نجي يوم
चलो मन
तो पकाना आती मी
Then there are different types of cell division. The cell division is your basis on meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue, right? Meristematic tissues are immature, no fixed shape and size, thin cell wall, are localized, found in a specific location, shows cell division. So, like meristematic tissue, if I had to tell you, are basically the growth tissue or which helps in cell division and all that. They are meristematic. Okay, they are not permanent tissue. There is a difference there. There is a reason for that. So, like meristematic tissue, if I had to tell you, inside of it, first of all, they are immature. Second of all, no fixed shape and size because they are not permanent, so they can change and divide. Then thin cell wall, so like they don't really need a permanent cell wall at this time. They need to grow first. Are localized, found at specific location. So like localized in sense of like your localized, they are in sense of like they are found in particular meristematic area. And they show cell division, basic cell division. So if I had to show you a plant, wait. So meristematic tissue is if you had to look at this plant, first is at the leaves, at the tip of leaves, for A for apical meristematic. You can remember as A is the starting of the alphabet, and at the starting there are leaves. So apical and the top of the leaves, apical tissues. Now at this is the stem, and this is where the leaf is joining. So at this point where leaves and the stem is joining, this is called intercalary meristematic. This is like the bulge between leaves and the stem. So inter, you would say like they are inter between, that type of thing. You could remember it like that. Now this thickness is done by lateral, lateral, lateral meristematic, basically. So you could remember as A for apical meristematic, which is from the leaves. Then your intercellary meristematic, which is between your inter means like your leaf holder and the stem. Then your lateral is the thickness of your the stem. Yeah, I think I have done it. Now there is parenchyma, sclerenchyma. So parenchyma was the one which helps in like identify some basic stuff, like it is a living cell. It is like provide storage and all that too, and it does is like gives you like chloroplast or your aerochyma or your waste one. What was waste one name? it is idoplast, so like that type of thing. Now here are the permanent tissue. So this was meristematic, which was a non-permanent. Permanent tissues are your are like uh, permanent tissues are simple. Some simples one are also there. uh, Simple one are also there, such as epidermis and cork. Epidermis are the living one. It's provide, like, how I told you, the thickness, the cutin type of thing, that is epidermis. Then there is cork. Cork is dead, because, like, how you put, like, in the top of the vine there is a cork there. Cork is like the cork is like your, you could say, bark of the tree, that type of thing, which provide extra rigidness to the tree. Then there is your parenchyma. Parenchyma, as I told you, it is like the living cell, and it provides sometime storage, or it could be defined as chloroplast, or your aerochyma, or idoplast for the waste one. So that is also living, supportive function they provide. Then there is your chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma, as I'm about to tell you. Then there is your scalenchyma. So epidermis is living, cork is dead, parenchyma is living, sclerenchyma is living too. Scalenchyma is what? I think scalenchyma is dead. We will see why. So first is, I told you, epidermis. What are epidermis? It is like the cutin and all that. Provide stickiness. So it has to secrete that. That's why it is living. Cork is, everybody know what this is. Parenchyma, I told you, it is like aerochyma, cutin, not cutin. What is that called? Cyto? No, chloroplast. Then idocyma, then idoblast, then cholenchyma. So cholenchyma, if you want to learn it, it is a diagram type thing. Like, how in cell you need thickness in these corners to make it extra rigid. So that's what cholenchyma is basically. It's provide thickness to the corners of the cell, of the plant cell. Cholenchyma corners extra deposit of cellulose. This is cellulose, extra deposition there. Yeah, pectin layer too. Provide elasticity and flexibility, prevents breaking of the plant while holding. So, like, the whole purpose of cholenchyma is to provide flexibility. It provides flexibility and your rigidity, basic support to the corners, and this is filled with cellulose. That is whole cholenchyma. And then your scalenchyma is dead tissue, because it is thick cell wall, also pigment, ligenified cell wall, lumen inner space. Types of lumen: narrow lumen fibers, commercial use for ropes; thick lumen scaletus, protects from injuries and mechanical energy. The heck I have written here. Is sclerenchyma used for is it like the bark of the tree? Yeah, it is bark type thing. Sclerenchyma is bark. Then now we have done permanent and meristematic tissues. Now we gonna do your complex permanent tissue. Function differently from cell, function separately at the small but worked for a single major function. Vascular system, conditional system helps in partition. Types. They are not in small plant, they don't need it. So hello fighter, bro, Byrio fighter, then PTERI do fighter, then gymnosperm, then angiosperm. So bro, so Thallophyta and Brophyta and all these are not really able to is able to have these complex permanent tissue which are xylem and phloem. Xylem for water, phloem for, you could say, food, a nutrient. So Thallophyta, Brophyta, these are not able to do it. Then Petrophyta is like starting point. He just started studying for it, you could say, Petrophyta. Then Gymnosperm is the small one which have developed it, but not in advance. You could say Gymnosperm. It has sperm in his name, but his is not that much advanced. He had just started it, you could say. But Angiosperm is the one you usually see outside the big trees and all that, the mango tree, the banyan tree, and all that. Those are angiosperm trees which have xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. They have like xylem and phloem for their water and transportation and all that. So this is the whole this thing. Then after this thing ends, there is your xylem. You could say it is like your fibrous. It is some shape like this fibers running downhill. These are fibrous, and the fiber plate is there, the vessel membrane is there. Now in this composition of xylem, there are some dead and some are living tissues. So like if you want to talk about the tracheids, which are like your xylem vessel type thing, but they have like pores and all that. These are those, and then xylem vessels. The whole like this is the tree, right? And this is the thing, xylem nerve type thing going up. This is dead and it doesn't have life. Then xylem scarenchyma, this is also dead, because like you know how like scarenchyma was also dead here. This is the same thing. This is like that type of thing. It is like the extra rigidity and all that. Then the one which is alive is scaren parenchyma, similar like to this. The parenchyma which provides cellulose, then idoplast and all that. So that type of parenchyma is alive, and this is your parenchyma, and this is your PYQ. So xylem parenchyma is living. Now you have to understand it like this. So like this is the tree, right? Now here the fibers are the hairs are going down in the earth, right? Now supposedly this one is the xylem one, right? Xylem one. Now in the xylem one there is ventricle conal is there. Then in like supposedly this is the leaf, right? And this xylem thing is connected to this leaf, right? Now what happens is that there is no, you would assume that there is parenchyma have life but not the sclerenchyma, which is actually. So the this leaf so the this leaf what did you do during under the sun? Well, sun is white, so I would make it white only. I was thinking of making it yellow, but sun is white. So this is the sun, right? It is throwing his proton to us around 8 minutes it takes to cover that huge distance. It is coming to this leaf, right? Now this leaf, what it would do, it would do water loss. The leaf did water loss, right? When the leaf did water loss, the water is gone from here, so here would be a kind of suction type of force would be applied. With the help of suction kind of force, the water would go up with the xylem. That's the whole process. And this adhesion, this and there is words like cohesion. Water molecules stick to each other. Water molecule stick to each other. Cohesion. and adhesion. Cohesion and adhesion is there. The water molecule, water stick to xylem wall. So like in this here there is cohesion and adhesion is also going on, in which like cohesion is like the water molecule, they make cohesion thing, make them stick together each other, and the adhesion is also sticking them, and there is a transpiration pull going on here. The water loss whole thing I told you, this is called transpirational pull, and this whole example is a PYQ. Now phloem. Phloem helps in transportation of food from the leaves to the plant. Then composite. Phloem also have composition. So all are living. Just the serenchyma. As I told you, seren is just basically the one which provide you like bark type thing. So he is also always dead. Then parenchyma is living, companion cell is living, seal cell is living, seal tube is living. So yeah. Mixture means two or more element combined with each other by a chemical process, and that is sugar. BYQ. Now we are going towards animal tissues and all that.
What they say is really scary is if you're in places where bears know that people hunt, to hear what they say is really scary is if you're in places where bears know that people hunt, to hear a gunshot and they think it's a dinner bell. So like if you shoot a deer, you only have a certain amount of time to get that deer out of there before a bear shows up. Especially like Kodiak Island is famous for two things: for gigantic brown bears, some of the biggest bears in the world. It's also famous for Sitka black-tailed deer, or really delicious deer. But when that gunfire, the bear hears that, he's like, and they go straight towards the sound of that gunfire because they know there's going to be a gut pile there soon.
So even if you miss, there's probably one coming your way.
Probably. They say it's really.
Do it! Do it! Get it! Oh, you got it! Very, very good! Yo, sure. We got food. Very, very good!
Live 6 लाइव आ गया मेरा भाई है
ऑप्शन में मेरा
स्क्रीन ये दिख रही है अभी उसमें ये कैसे चलता है कि दिखा दो सिखा दूंगा
ना
अभी जाके बताना ब्लॉग बनाएगा यहाँ से मैं जा रहा हूँ वो आईडी मेरे को मेरी आवाज भी आ रही है हाय हेलो है